with the Chi Sox. Bottom of the 8th, bases loaded. Carlos Guillen with the Mariners down 6-3. Now make it 6-5. Brett Boone's going to score. Edgar Martinez as well. And it is a one-run ball game. Your next batter is Ruben Sierra facing Bobby Howry. Runners on second and third, and Sierra, the chopper back to the hill. Howry takes his time and gets out of it. Sox use 3 pitchers in the 8th. They cling to a 6-5 lead. Bottom of the 9th, 2 runners on. Brett Boone facing Keith Falk with 1 out. Back to Falk, looks the runner back and throws to first to get Boone, so now 2 outs. After they intentionally walked Edgar Martinez, Falk facing Mike Cameron. Cameron said afterwards he got a pitch to hit and just missed it. Fly out to right field, and that is your ball game. Sox hang out.
Now for the White Sox. Here's Chuck Knobloch. Rips that. Valance is a versatile guy.
There's a guy who's played any place they've asked him to play. Shortstop, third base, outfield, and just going about his business.
Mark Burley is up facing Carlos Beltran and Valentin. Nice, oh, look at a nice scoop to the big hurt. 2 good defensive plays by Jose Valentin. Other side, yikes, Miguel Asensio, his major league debut. Now he's down 9-0 in the 8th. Ball 2, ball 3. This guy could not find the plate. Now, he's not throwing it to the backstop, but he was all over the place. He said, I was overthrowing. It's not the way I pitch. They tried to calm him down. Nepi Perez came out there. I mean, you guys tell me, what do you make of this when a guy comes out and throws 16 straight balls?
Well, I think he's trying to overthrow a little bit. Looks like he's a dead sinker ball pitcher. None of these balls are up. He's throwing the ball over the plate. He's just not getting it with the right height. And unfortunately, it just multiplied as the day went on.
And he's had some control problems in the minor leagues, but obviously nothing like this.
Dibs, you went through this once, right? Where you couldn't find the plate?
Never, Brian, never.
Oh, no, come on. You had 25 straight you missed in spring training.
I never said that.
No. I'm not going to him next time.
You're allowed to lie on the side there.
Tony Muser finally have to come out. 4 straight. 16 straight balls.
And that was the only one he missed up with. And there's 2 that he missed up with.
You know what? After this, Corey Bailey came on in relief. He walked Paul Konerko. After all that, I mean, it just got worse.
Believe me, the White Sox would like for him to take him out. And I know the catcher would because he's getting beat up.
Tigers, let's go at top third. No score. Frank Thomas, Le Papillon, the knuckleball from Steve Sparks. Tigers now down 3-0. 2 on, 2 out for Craig Paquette. Right. Dan Wright driving a deuce on Paquette. He had 7 1/3, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. Top 8, 6-0 Chicago. 1 on for Frank Thomas. And Frank Thomas has just left the yard for the 350th time in his career. 61st player to hit 350. White Sox.
And Tigers, Bobby Higginson. He's built for this. Home run, no doubt. Second homer of the year for Higgs. 1-0 Tigers. Trying to win their first game of the year. We're tied at 3, 2 on, 2 out. Frank Thomas.
That ball is driven.
3rd home run of the year for the Big Hurt. Just like that, White Sox up 6-3. It was 7-5. Chicago in the 7th. Bags full, 2 out. Craig Paquette. Paquette testing Jose Valentin at 3rd. The flip to 2nd for the out. Valentin passes.
And Orioles in Chicago for the home opener. Comiskey finally bottom 5. Josh Towers facing Ray Durham. And there it goes. Durham's first. Towers gave up 5 runs on 9 hits and 6 1/3. Top 6, Mike Bordick. Shallow left, Carlos Lee, El Caballo. This in support of Mark Burley, who allowed just 1 earned run on 2 hits in 7. Top 7, Burley gets Gary Matthews Jr. Burley struck out 2, and the White Sox win 5-2.
And the White Sox, Jerry Manuel there. Wants to win his 4th in the row. Scott Erickson, though, is on the hill, and he's pitched very well in his comeback season. Maglio Ordonez puts it out there. Chris Singleton makes the grab. In the 7th, 3-1 Orioles. Erickson pitching to Jose Valentin. Look at the opposite field. Power alley bomb from an infielder. I know he can hit home runs, but what we're talking about with this era. In the 8th, Ray Durham puts that. Melvin Mora bobbles, and you got Kenny Lofton on second. He is scoring easily. He's barely getting in. 2 errors on the play, ties it up 3-3. Paul Konerko is there, and with 2 outs, puts that 3. Was in an 0-for-16 slump before that gamer. Said he felt.
Last win came in early August from Kansas City, and that ain't helped. Paul Konerko right back through the box. Kenny Lofton scores. Konerko batting .327, 1-zip White Sox. And with the bases loaded, Ray Durham singles. Mark Johnson scores. Wes Clayton scores. Ray 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. 3-0 White Sox. 2 batters later. Again, bases loaded. And Konerko. It's Paul Konerko's highlight basically. I'm just lucky to be reading it. 4-0 White Sox. Johnson gets pulled after an inning in the third. Still responsible for the bases loaded. Carlos Lee, Chris Brock. Well, Ed didn't really prevent runners from scoring. Down the line, Durham scores. Frank Thomas scores. Mike Hargrove's team is now down 6-0. All runs charged to Johnson. Stake to the lead, John Garland cruising. Jay Gibbons, no chance in the high heat. Bottom 5, 10-zip White Sox, 2-on for Konerko, and Paul Konerko get away. Somewhere in the seat, someone has a souvenir. 3 for 5 for Konerko. Ties into the division. 11-1 Indians going for their 11th straight win, taking on the Shy Sox. It's John Roush, 6 foot 11 inches, tallest pitcher in big league history, making his first start. And Roush gets Travis Fryman looking at a breaking ball, and then very smooth like a big leaguer, high-fives himself right onto his rump in the dugout. Bottom second, Chuck Finley facing Magli Ordonez, and this was a tough second inning for Chuck. Matt Lawton, he'll drop a ball about every time the sun comes up in the west. Oh boy, it's going to be a rough morning. Error on Lawton. Ordonez would later score. Still in the bottom of the second. We're tied at 1. 2-on. Sandy Alomar bringing him home. Drops it into left field. He now has 7 RBIs in the year. It's 3-1 Sox. Same inning. It's now 5-1. They're just getting started. Kenny Lofton, first game against his old ball club, can extend his hitting streak to 7 games. Courtesy of Finley's thigh. Beats it out. He was 1 for 5. 3 batters later. The bases are Chuck for Ordonez, and that is so high. Ordonez, his 5th career slam for Finley, 5th career slam allowed. 9-1 Sox. Finley 8 earned, 7 hits allowed, in an inning and 2/3, and then Roush gets Jim Tomei. And very careful down the steps.
Between the Tribe and White Sox, Mark Burley, their ace on the mound, but in the top of the first, Matt Lawton says ace this on the second pitch of the game. 14th straight game the Indians have homered to start the season, a new major league record, 1-0 Tribe. Tied at 2 in the third. Frank Thomas, the check swing, but still a base hit. Kenny Lofton scores for the 13th straight game. 3-2 White Sox. It's 4-2 in the third. Carlos Lee looking for more with 2 men on and 2 outs, and he rips this one to left center, but into your screen and into your living rooms. Milton Bradley. That's a web gem. That ends the inning. Bottom 6, Ray Durhamar picked a click. Kenny Lofton scores again. 3 runs in this game, a major league leading 20 on the season. Bottom of the 7th, Mark Burley against Eddie Perez. 4 strikeouts for Burley.
Outsiders trying to complete the 3-game sweep on Thursday night, and off to a good start. Bottom of the second, Paul Konerko off Bartolo Colon. 2nd of the season for Konerko in Chicago. The early 1-0 lead. Bottom of the third, still 1-0. Kenny Lofton, who has just murdered the Indians in this series. 6 for 14, 6 runs scored in the series. That is his first homer of the season. Sox up 2-0. Lofton doing some serious damage against his former mates. And then Richie looking good. Gets Jim Tomei there. Top of the 6th, gets Russell Branyan. And then Richie induces Matt Lawton to ground into the double play. Richie went 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, struck out 5, just 1 run allowed. Bottom of the 7th, 5-1, 2-on. The Big Hurt lines it into left, and that's a fair ball. Ray Durham going to score all the way from first. A 2-run double for Thomas, and the White Sox on top 7-1. Indians have homered in every game so far this season. That streak in peril in the 9th. Gary Glover facing Einar Diaz, and the streak has ended. Diaz grounds into the double play. Homer streak over at 14 games.
Come up and put too much pressure on your pitcher. There's nowhere to put him. Tigers and White Sox, here we go. You got the big 3 for Chicago. Frank Thomas, Magli Ordonez, and Paul Konerko. 3, 4, and 5. The heart of the order has been sensational. Thomas will draw a walk. Did it right there. Next man up. Ordonez rips that down the line, drives in Tony Graffinino. The White Sox take a 1-0 lead. There would be more where that came from. Now, Nate Cornejo, not expected of him coming up for the Tigers, and he is really struggling. Walks Thomas here, loads him up. Ordonez would fly out, bases loaded for Konerko, and oh no.
That fence high?
What, too high? What do you mean too high? Grand slam. White Sox take a 6-2 lead. Let's go to the 4th inning. Maybe it's the ski hats that are working for him. It's 7-2. 2 outs, 1 on. The Big Hurt.
He's been struggling at the plate lately, but when he can get those arms extended, if you get it away from him at all, he can really hurt you.
It's 9-2. Here's Ordonez with Matt Parrish show.
How sweet is that? Magli Ordonez Edgar Martinez, two of the prettiest right-handed swings in the game.
Konerko with the shot to left field. He's the next man up. They're not done yet. But the White Sox lineup, the big three, go 9 for 12. They reached base in 12 of 15 appearances. If you want to throw, you don't have to go 3, 4, 5. You can throw on Jose Valentin. They're combined 11 for 17 with 11 RBIs. White Sox lead the American League in runs scored. They're slugging .509 as a team.
Is that good?
That's pretty good.
Okay.
That's a team.
They've scored Lima time with men on second and third and one down. Well, that's a 2-run double. There's a 2-run home run, an RBI single, and Lima time is quickly run out of time. 6-3, he's done. No relief, 2-run triple. 2/3, 5 hits, 8 earned. Good night. Higginson crushed deep right center, and that one doesn't stay in the park. This game is tied at 8. Higginson 3 for 5. This was weather that was like 40 degrees with a nasty wind chill, and we're tied at 8. Still tied. Howry against Rivera. Launched. Lofton. Back. Rising. And he reels it in.
He does that as good as anybody in the big league.
Well, two things really working for him here. He's going glove side, which gives him a little more reach. He also gets to the fence in time to know. Some guys get so far into the fence that it keeps them from jumping as high as they can jump. He does.
It looked like the ball almost came through his glove there. Durham to left. Higginson overruns it. One's in. Make it 2, 3.
We're in the top of the 4th. Carlos Lee up with runners on first and second. Paul Konerko is going to score from second. And Matt Lawton, the well-traveled one, the former Met, the former Twin, got a problem here. Allows Jose Valentin to score all the way from first. And the White Sox are up by the score of 2-1. Todd Ritchie on the hill says it's the best he's felt all year. Great game. Down goes Ellis Burks. Jim Thome hit a home run, but here in the 7th, he goes down on strikes, as does Travis Fryman. Ritchie striking out 8 innings of work. Bottom 9 innings. Indians down 5-1, bases loaded. And it's Keith Folk to Fryman into the double play. Chicago's bullpen now 11 straight scoreless innings as the White Sox win it 5-1.
White Sox, Maglio Ordonez had no idea about that probably. Or he did. Perhaps that's why he hit this home run. First home run allowed by Sabathia this year, 4th of the year. White Sox lead 2-0. It's 2-1 in the 4th. Paul Konerko got it.
High in the air to left.
His 4th of the year. Chicago leads 3-1. Put that on the board, yes. Top 5, 2 on, nobody out for Frank Thomas. Thomas, base hit. Ray Durham, come on down. Sabathia, 4 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earns, 5 strikeouts. Jerry Manuel says he's been looking for a good start from one of his youngsters in the starting rotation. Danny Wright provided it. No earned run, 6 innings pitched, strikes out Russell Branyan and the threat in the 6th. Bases loaded in the 8th. Gary Glover gets Matt Lawton a ground out to end that threat. Indians strand 12 runners in the game. Top of the 9th, 1 on, 1 out. Sox lead 7-2. And it's Frank Thomas, the pick to click like he hasn't clicked since 1998. Off the wall and the big hurt. 4th career triple. Legging it out after the game, he said.
To the J for the action. And there was a lot of that.
That's going to get all the way to the wall.
That's going all the way to the wall thanks to Kenny Lofton. 3 RBI with that double. 5-0 Sox. Bottom 7 now. Einar Diaz. Popping it up behind home plate. Catcher Mark Johnson will track this thing down, and this is all about the glove. Sox go on to win.
White Sox, Joel Pinheiro. First start of the season for the Mariners, and he treated it like a relief appearance. He went 2 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. Look at Ray Durham laying one down. That's a bunt for a base hit. Also going to advance Kenny Lofton. Next batter, Frank Thomas, 3 for 20 slump, and if it's possible to unslump, that kind of base hit will do it. Double for Thomas, couple runs to score. White Sox are up 5-3, and look at Durham hustling the whole way. You like to see that. Next batter, Maglio Ordonez. He's got a much more leisurely pace about him. Everybody gets to walk home now. New baseball, please. His 6th home run of the season. Sox up 7-3. They win it 8.
Looking to take their 2nd straight from Seattle. Rain early on. Delay the game for a few hours. Paul Konerko, when it got going, 1 for 5. He's hitting .364. That extends his hit streak to 18 games. Next batter for Chicago, John Valentin. That's going off the wall. For an RBI double, that scores Maglio Ordonez. 2 for 4 was Valentin. 1 RBI, he's hitting .228. Up, here come the Tarps. And the umpire. Bruce Froming makes the call to stop play. 2 more short delays would follow. Now top of the 8th, Brett Boone. Ray Durham, great diving catch, great play. Boone 1 for 18 in his last 5 games. 4-2 Sox, 1 on bottom 8, Carlos Lee. Lee, not scared of heights, his 4th home run of the year. Sox now up 6-2. And guess what? The rains came. Lou Piniella not a big fan of Mother Nature, because in the end, it was a non.
Cameron's 4 blast. The White Sox taking on Art Howe's A's. White Sox outscored 32-5 by Oakland in a 3-game sweep last weekend. The Big Hurt putting one out there, and Jermaine Dye's got it. That's the only time they got the Big Hurt out all night. Bottom of the 2nd, still scoreless, bases loaded. Terrific play by Dye, who appears to be quite healthy, coming back off that broken leg from last year. Royce Clayton fires. Eric Chavez. Good throw home, but Jeff Leefer very heads up as the ball hits him. Jose Valentin also scores. White Sox up 2-0. Check out the replay. Good base running here by Leefer. Takes the inside path, making it a very difficult throw. Everything arrives at the same time. Sox got a couple more to make it 4-0. The bottom of the 4th. Who's your pick to click? The Big Hurt puts one on the board. 5th of the year. Sox go up 5-0. They
Go to the A's and the White Sox. It's a very strange series. White Sox outscored 32-5 by the A's last weekend here. Randy Velarde crunches that on Todd Ritchie. That's in the 1st. It's 1-0 Oakland. Bottom of the 4th. Bases loaded. Jose Valentin puts this in deep. It's going to clear the bases. White Sox open it up. Going to take a 3-1 lead. Now Hawks excited. Here we go to the top of the 5th. It's now a 4-1 game. Jeremy Giambi grooved and crushed. Giambi's 5th of the year. It's a 4-2 ball game. Bottom of the 5th, Ray Durham. This is a strange team. I mean, on any given day, they can just hammer you, or they can get hammered.
Well, they're the leading scoring team in the major leagues. They've scored 10 or more runs 6 times already. They didn't get to that level till September of last year.
In the 6th, Carlos Pena puts that out there, but Carlos Lee is going after it. Carlos Lee brings it back in. That looked like it was out already. Yeah, we want to see that again.
Well, Carlos Lee hasn't been doing it at the plate so far this year, but you see him make full extension. He knows his home field advantage right there. He knows how far he's got to go to the wall. Great concentration.
Tim Hudson intentionally walks the Big Hurt. It brings up Maglio Ordonez. You know, pick your poison.
Ordonez 2 for 15 lifetime against Hudson coming into this game, but he got back at him a little bit here.
That's 2 runs coming. Hey, that's big poison.
White Sox top 6 were tied at 4. Kenny Lofton off the glove of Rafael Palmeiro, the 3-time Gold Glover. 3 errors in this game. Mark Johnson scores. Sox up 5-4. A couple batters later, Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. He didn't have to be far to be effective. Dunks that one in. Texas leaguer, you might say. Royce Clayton. Lofton scored 7-4. Your next batter, Maglio Ordonez, with a couple guys on. Earth's full, please go home. Maglio, his 8th of the season.
Davis looking for his 4th win of the year. Top 5, 1-0 Rangers. Davis, Royce Clayton, the chopper. Davis, that's his 1st error of the year. So we have the bases loaded. Next batter, Kenny Lofton. Lofton looking to cash in when it matters most, and does so. His only hit of the game. It's a double. That scores Jose Valentin and Sandy Alomar. 2-1 Chicago. Bottom 5 on the mound for the White Sox, Mark Burley. Strong outing, 7 innings, just 4 hits allowed and 3 strikeouts. One of them to Calvin Murray. The other, Kevin, what a mensch. Top of the 8th, 3-1 Chicago, Carlos Lee. That'll bring on in Maglio Ordonez. Ordonez had 2 hits in this one. White Sox have a victory. So Mark Burley becomes the AL's first 6-game winner.
3-2 game. This was all about Tony Graffinino. It's his world, and everyone's just trying to exist in it.
He went off.
Oh, did he go off? Big time.
Big time.
Couple of runs come in there. Not done yet. 5-4. Swing. Griffin. Tony Graffinino at that point, triple shy of the cycle. He had more than 1 home run in him, though, HR. 9-4. Adios, amigos.
That's a nice short start. One of those nights, Tony, get the VCR rolling, brother. Take a bow.
They had Frank Thomas batting 5th. Uh-oh, cat chasing a rat out there. Kenny Lofton backpedaling. Back. Got it.
Feeling a little chilly. Bottom 6, 1-0 White Sox. Kenny Rogers gets a great play behind him from Herbert Perry, but he cannot get Royce Clayton. That's an error on Perry. Two batters later, Ray Durham to A-Rod. He makes a fantastic play, but his throw to second, not in time. 2-1 for Chicago. Next man up, Frank Thomas. And he's going to hit it to Perry, who again, some fine glove work, but he can't get anybody out. So Kenny Rogers is in a jam, and nobody's hit a ball out of the infield after Rogers walks in a run. We're still in the infield. A-Rod cannot turn a double play. Durham comes in to score 3-0 White Sox, and very little had been done. Dan Wright facing A-Rod, and he hangs the hook, strikes him out, and Wright.
Umpires ready for it, though. Top one, Frank Thomas hurt so good. Off Ramon Ortiz. Thomas is eighth, and the White Sox are up 3-0. Fourth inning, it's that Thomas guy again. Second of the game, is ninth of the year. Ortiz tagged for 6 runs on 7 hits and 6. Gets his first loss since April 23rd, bottom 6. Paul Konerko takes him yard, his 7th, 5-3 Chicago. Konerko 3 for 4. He's hit in 31 of his last 33 games. Next batter, Frank Thomas. How about a 3-spot? And there it goes. Right into Darren Erstad's glove. But Big Hurt 2 for 4, drove in 3. White Sox win 10-4. They snapped the Yankees.
Looking pretty sporty. No Magassiapara did not stat the game, but he would play. John Garland pitching very well. He sits down Shea Hillenbrand to end the first. Bottom 4, White Sox up 1. Garland faces Hillenbrand again with a runner in scoring position. He sits him down again. That was Boston's best scoring chance of the night against Garland. 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 4 Ks. Bottom 9, no more. With 2 on and nobody out, and a swing and a drive, and it's an out on the warning track. Keith Folk on the mound now. There's 1 out, 1 batter later. Hillenbrand, chance to play hero. Home run wins it. Ground ball to Jose Valentin ends it. Chicago wins it 2-0 on that.
Tigers at Comiskey, second of a 3-game set with the White Sox, bottom 2. Ray Durham to right, a 2-run shot, his 3rd and the 100th of his career. White Sox have 5-1. That off Seth Greisinger, who was tagged for 5 runs on 8 hits and 6. Top 8, Dimitri Young tying run at the plate, but that's a double play. Keith Folk worked the 9th for his 8th save, and the White Sox hold on 6-4. They've won 4 in a row.
Chicago riding the losing train, 7 cars long, scoreless in the 4th when Miguel Ordonez shoots one the other way, and Michael Tucker, he ran really fast trying to get it, just didn't have any luck. White Sox up 1-0 on the double. Bottom 5, Aaron Rowan, left. Little blooper to right. Sandy Alomar. He's heading home, but he's laboring a bit.
Just a tiny little bit.
Rounding 3rd, and he just, luckily the throw was not great, and he made it. He'll need a beverage. Top 8, Royals down 2-0. 2 on for Joe Randa, and Bobby Howry handles the comebacker. Now they got Carlos Beltran in the hot box. Run him down. Okay, I give. White Sox get out of the inning. Get out of the game with a 4-0 win. White Sox tie a major.
4 career on the road. We keep moving. White Sox begin the night 4 games behind the Twins. Kenny Lofton rips it. Neffy Perez, who needs weight when you got leather. Bottom 4, White Sox up 2-1, bases loaded. Suppan facing Lofton again. He will not be robbed. Into the gap. All 3 runners will score. Suppan, 5 runs, 8 hits, 5 1/3. White Sox win 6-1. In their last 6 wins, the White Sox have outscored their opponents 38-9.
Showers in Chicago. That's following the big sleepover. Ordonez.
Well, that's called fighting a ball off right there. And he just slapped that puppy to right. No biggie. 2-zip Chicago. He can't hit. And I tell you what, Harold, when Burley's pitching for the White Sox, all of a sudden their bats seem to wake up. Well, wake up or not, this is an emergency hack right here. This ball is in the glove. Okay, thank you. Pull the string. Jose Valentin. Into right. Uh-oh, Vladimir, Michael Barrett. You got it. Maglio stays at 3rd. Get back there. Oh, no. Into left. Maglio scores. Valentin, he's also in on the error. We had 1 great throw. That's all we needed to make here, no? Well, the problem was he didn't hit the cutoff, man. You want that ball down a little bit more. Now you give the cutoff an option to force the runner to go to 2nd, and Barrett thought he might have another play. Bad news on this play. Kenny Lofton busting down 1st. Strains his right hamstring. Number 1, day to day. Bases loaded for Ordonez in the 5th. Big spot. Britt Reams. Oh, that's hit hard to right, Harold. No emergency stroke there. Oh, not at all. Bring them all in.
Most underrated player in the American League right there, Maglio Ordonez. I don't think people realize how good he is. 5'2" player.
Bobby Alomar against the White Sox. Got a strained left knee. Top 7, White Sox up 8-5. Bases juiced. Mo Vaughn, a chance to be a hero. Had a couple of hits on the night, but that wasn't one of them. 6-4-3, though he scorched it pretty well. Piazza scored on that one. Mets down by a couple. Bottom 7, Magglio Ordonez going with it. Opposite field, number 11, and Chicago with a 3-run lead now. The next man is Paul Konerko, and he might be your pick to click. His second of the game, 11th of the season. White Sox up 10-6. That doubles the number of homers David Weathers had allowed for the year. And then it's Jose Valentin. He's trying to put one on the board, too, but Roger Cedeno, no. Worst fielding ball club in all of baseball gets a beautiful play from Cedeno at the wall to stop the back hit against Al Leiter. Manuel knows he should put Graffinino in the lineup because Graffinino, the Long Island native who grew up a Yankee fan, logs on. 4th of the year, Sox take a 1-0 lead. And Graffinino, who said he didn't really hate the Mets growing up, just really liked the Yankees. Now he really likes the White Sox, and Jay Payton really doesn't like him after Graffinino takes that one away. Bottom 8, this could be the Tony Graffinino resume reel. Wow. Slaps it into right. 2-1 White Sox, just the third 1-run victory.
Sox, big day for this guy. Carlos Lee came in batting .248, facing Kerry Wood, bases loaded. He just left the building. It was 4-2 Cubs, top 3. It's Sox 6-4. Top 5 tied at 6. Lee has just left the building again. A 3-run bomb, 7 RBIs, a career high. And the Sox win this.
Phillies, has anybody seen Richie or Dick Allen? Either one. Bottom 6, Danny Wright pitching for the White Sox. Travis Lee, upper deck shot. 3 Ks in this game and a home run. Puts his team up 3-1. Extra innings, clock strikes midnight. White Sox fans, they're a little scared because they're not in Comiskey. They can't just sleep over. Top 12, David Coggin, 6th pitcher of the night for the Phils. Walks Carlos Lee, ball 4, it was full count. Coggin again, Jose Valentin, another full count, and another ball 4. So we got a couple men on for Kenny Laughlin, who entered in the 8th as a pinch hitter, and in his 3rd at bat, guy got in a full game, and he just came in to pinch hit. He knocks a triple, a couple of runs will score, and the White Sox going to win this thing by a count of 6-3.
Robert Person starting, wouldn't last long. Top 1, 1st and 3rd, Paul Konerko. His 14th makes it 3-0 Sox. They give Mark Burley a nice little lead. They give him more support than anybody in the AL. Bottom of the 9th, Burley against Pat Burrell. Burrell doesn't like it. He gets tossed right out of there. Larry Boa comes out to defend his player. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I can hear you now.
Personal rank and reflected those remarks. I don't care to dignify with comment.
White Sox, see, I left that open for you.
Thank you.
White Sox win it by a count of 6-1. Larry continues to argue. And
Eric Milton, because, well, frankly, this game sort of turned into some T-ball. Everyone gets to hit. The number on the bottom is more important than the number at the top. First, that was a Paul Konerko single. This is an Aaron Rowan single. Josh Paul, that's a single. You see 3. We're going to keep going from here. Ray Durham, a bloop single, scores 1. It's 2-1 Sox. But again, really, let's keep tabs here. Tony Graffinino, another single. Top of the 3rd. Carlos Lee, this is a home run. No, wait a minute. Too much top spin. It's off the wall. That's a single. Royce Clayton, another single. Who says we only show home runs on SportsCenter? That's Frank Thomas with a single on top of the 5th. Magglio Ordonez, who went 4 for 6. That's a single. Paul Konerko, another single. He was 3 for 4. Top of the 6th, Thomas, another single. We've got 11 singles and counting. Mags again, another single. It is 7-4 now, Sox. Later in the inning, Lee with another single. It's 9-4. Top 7, Royce Clayton past Luis Rivas. Ray Durham with a single off Rivas. Tony Graffinino, single to load the bases. Ordonez, a single. It's 11-5. Top 8, Josh Paul. Another single. Top 9, Ray Durham. This is an infield hit. That's a Metrodome special. It's 19 singles. The record, by the way, 26 by the Milwaukee Brewers in 1992 against Toronto. Graffinino, another single. They had twins. Paul Konerko had himself a day off of Rick Reed. White Sox already up 1-0, and now maybe 2-0. Jock Jones, though, guns out Frank Thomas, who did not slide. Take another look. Jones comes up throwing on the play. And if Thomas would have got that big body down on the dirt, he likely would have been safe. Watch Jose Valentin. He tries to tell him, get down, get down. Frank Thomas said, I was a tight end in college. I'll just knock the ball out.
He's not used to running the bases.
Well, not there he was. Konerko, 2 on, top second. He singles again. This time Thomas held at third by Wallace Johnson. Thomas stranded Konerko now 2 for 2. Or maybe he's 3 for 3. That's in the top of the 4th. We move to the top of the 7th now. Konerko facing Juan Rincon.
That ball hit deep in the left.
That's a solo home run. Enough of the singles. Konerko's 18th. He's 4 for 4 on the day.
He's going to get
top 9, good baseball. Man on second, nobody out. Konerko gives himself up. Going to move the runner over. Still, he raises his average on the day from 324 to 332. Jose Valentin, single to center. That's baseball, the way it's supposed to be done. Maglio Ordonez comes in to score. White Sox win it. Konerko.
Sox, Paul Konerko, focused. Top 2, Cubs up 3-zip, 2 on. Corey Patterson. Shot to right. It's a 3-run home run. It's his 7th homer of the year. Cubs up 6-zip. Top 3, it's 7-0. Runners at the corners. Patterson to Ray Durham.
Change up.
Issues. Bill Miller scores, so the Cubs are up 8-zip. Figure it's over. Figure the heck with it. Last time the Sox came back from a deficit of 8 runs or more, 1978. Paul Konerko not enthused at this point.
When it's 8-0, I mean, it doesn't look good. I mean, because it didn't look like they were slowing down any either.
It's not issued a lot. And bottom 4, it's 8-0 Chicago. White Sox starting to try to get some things going. Konerko's hitting the head.
It didn't really hurt, but it just totally dazed me. Thank God it wasn't a fastball. I wasn't really adamant. I just said, I'm not coming out of the game. I'm fine. You know, that was it.
Konerko stayed in. Next at bat against Kerry Wood. Take that. 2-run home run, 19th of the year. The White Sox starting to slowly come back, gaining confidence.
When we start getting back in the game, you get 8-4, and everybody just starts getting that momentum, and then you start really pushing for the win.
Bottom 6, 2 on. White Sox down 8-6. Maglio Ordonez bloops it. That's going to drive in Kenny Lofton. It's going to drive in Ray Durham. And all of a sudden, we are tied at 8 runs apiece. And the next man up is Paul Konerko. And Konerko is going to come through again.
There's a high, deep drive to left field. Brown back looks up. You can put it on the ball. Yes!
In unison on the yes. Konerko's 2nd homer of the game, 20th of the year. White Sox up 10-8. Konerko should indeed be an all-star. Bottom 8, his 4th hit of the game. He goes 4 for 4. On Thursday, he went 4 for 5, so he's 8 for his last 9. Drove in 4 runs in this one.
I just think it reaches a point where you just get sick of being average, you know. Pretty much for 1.5 years now, we've been mediocre. Starting in April last year all the way up until now, and I think people just kind of, same guys, you know, just kind of get tired of it, you know, and hopefully this is the last time we get tired of it. Now we take off and go well for a while.
Sox, top of the 2nd. Moises Alou. There it goes. 5th of the year, solo home run. Chicago up 2-zip. Top 4, 2-2. Alou up again. And this is his first multi-home run game in over a year. 6th home run of the season. Split screen analysis. 2nd inning home run, high fastball. 4th inning home run, low slider. Alou in the ball game went 4 for 4. Bottom 5, full count. Frank Thomas facing Mark Pryor. Stays alive. Stays alive. Stays alive. And then crushes it. 2-run home run. 14th of the year, 3 RBIs in the game for Thomas. White Sox up 4-3. And then Carlos Lee, bottom 6, 2-run home run. El Caballo. 389 for Lee, the average, with 3 homers in 5 games against the Cubs this season. 5-4 White Sox. Top 9, Sox up 5-4. Antonio Osuna on the mound. Delano DeShields on 3rd. Bill Miller up. Sosa on deck. And Osuna walks Miller. So Sosa coming up. 2-2 pitch. Team down by 1. Ring them up, sit them down. And Sosa scowling because Osuna with the celebration. And the White Sox win at 5-4 as Osuna gets Sosa in the clutch spot. Osuna on his head.
Back to the future, Dimitri Young. Looks like Poet from Oz. Number 6 on the season. He can swing a bat. Later, in the first, Robert Fick. His 11th of the season. Second in the ball game. Record-setting home run night. This game helped out. Kenny Lofton for the 21st time in his career. Leadoff homer. It's his 4th of this year. 2 batters later, Maglio Ordonez. His 14th. The hits just keep on coming in the second. Jose Valentin, his 11th. Ties the ball game. Bottom 4, Sandy Alomar. He cranks it. Bottom 6, Alomar not done. 4 for 5 on the night. 2 home runs in the game. This is the second. Top 7. It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots. George Lombard to center field. That's gone. Check the baseballs. Maglio Ordonez. Get off me ball! That is a massive grand slam. His second. That thing's out in Skokie. Wendell McGee, number 6. It's 17-6, home team. Later, top 9, Damian Easley. That's gone. Next batter, Poet from Oz. Dimitri, again! Again! 12 home runs. The same 2 teams who did it before do it again. They tie their own.
Make it look like a pretty good move in the 6th inning. It's a 2-1 ball game. Ellis Burks rips this down the line off Mark Burley. The fans are going to get that. Now, why do you let the fans in with a glove if when they touch the ball you toss them out? Come on, Jeff, can you answer that for me?
Read the back of your ticket, lady. If the ball's in play, don't touch it.
You know, the sailor didn't explain that to her when she came in.
Well, he didn't explain it to her, and he didn't go with her when she got kicked out.
The attendant comes and you have to come with me. And he said, look, I'm going to watch the rest of the game, all right? What? Chivalry is dead. See you later.
Come on, Popeye, go with her.
Come on, you know, don't kick that fan out. Oh, now look out. Paul Konerko hitting the helmet from Jason Phillips. Didn't take it too seriously.
Read his lips. You got to be kidding me.
Jeff Leefer is up, and Leefer is getting it done. He was 2 for 3 on Friday, Rob.
Well, you know, he had 18 home runs last year. He sees his bad changeup the first time. He tries another bad changeup down the heart of the plate. And Jeff Leefer gets a 3-run homer. Don't hang it, because we'll bang it.
Dumb and Dumber.
Mark Burley strikes out Ricky Gutierrez. Look at the bat going in.
Oh, ugly finder.
Oh, they all wanted it so badly. You don't get kicked out for that, though. And now, Mark Burley is up to 12-6. He went 7, gave up 2.
Oh.
Gone. The long one, like that.
This one's going back to left, back, and going to meet new teammates for the first time. This one down the left field, and gone. This one should go to left, back it goes. Got the stroke going.
It's usually the toughest.
That one was absolutely powdered.
A hockey.
He may have it.
There you go.
Clearly, you didn't feel the pressure being the first person to hit.
I felt all the pressure in the world. It's pretty nerve-wracking out here. I'm glad to be done.
10 more outs, I know. And there's a long shot for Konerko, who, remember, started the... That's quite a 9-out rally you had.
Yeah, I just couldn't.
They must expect some thunderstorms. There's a shot by Konerko. Back. Gone.
Just the little things made it exciting. So there we go.
And your hometown is going to be special for you.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a good time.
Boy, here's Paul Konerko, meanwhile 7. But the Dodgers traded him for Jeff Shaw with Cincinnati in '98, and then at the end of '98, the Reds sent him on to the White Sox for Mike.
Expos got contracted. Guerrero would end in their lap. That's on the outside corner. And Burley comes back to strike out Guerrero. 1 away. And let's go down the last couple of years. Spivey strikes out after a pretty good effort. That's into right center field and will not be caught. 1 hop over the wall for a double. We came in top for the first time tonight.
With Konerko at first after that three-game benching. Top four scoreless. Runners on first and second. That's Ramon Santiago, and he's not going to like that because that's an error on him. Gives the White Sox a 1-0 lead. Konerko benefits. Bottom fifth, 5-0 Sox. Thomas 0 for 2 at that point. The big hurt. Oh, that hurts even more. Wendell McGee, diving catch. Bad karma. Good play. Two batters later, runners at first and second for Konerko. Baseball. Loops a shot to short center field. Look at Durham coming around to score one more time. Konerko dropping hits. He was 2 for 4 with a couple of RBI. Top six, 7-2 Sox. Runners at first and second for Thomas. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a single. 1 for 5. That ends an 0 for 19 stretch. Top 7, Konerko. Later. Opposite field shot, number 21 on the season. Konerko and the Sox. And Frank.
I think he likes the 3 spots. 7 for 8 since going there, Harold.
Well, he's on fire. You know, you like two things you can do there. You put your best hitter and best runner at third spot, or your hottest guy. But that seems to be what they're doing. Konerko was there for a little while. This guy driving.
They don't really have a guy for the 3-hole that runs well. That's the perfect world.
The bottom of the fifth, Bobby Higginson with the bases loaded just through the infield. 2 runs coming in here. Tigers taking the 4-3 lead. That's Tony Graffinino and Jose Valentin. That just snuck through.
That is a seeing-eye single.
That is it. In the 8th inning, Jose Paniagua against Jose Valentin.
1 run will score.
Yeah, 1 run will score. Maglio Ordonez coming around. Will he score? He's going to score. Damian Easley, the throw. It's getting away.
Brian, where's the pitcher at here? Got to be backing up third. That run shouldn't have scored.
Well, if you're out, I don't know now, because I think you got to be home.
White Sox and Indians at the Jake. Before the game, a moment of silence for Jim Warfield, the Indians trainer who died Tuesday from a brain hemorrhage. Jim told me writing Warfield's initials in dirt. Top first, Maglio Ordonez facing CC Sabathia. The 2-run shot into the tunnel. His 16th of the year. White Sox up 2 goose. Top 2, we got a visitor casually sauntering in front of the plate.
It's not a goose.
Then the Bird heads to left looking for grubs. Later in the second, Milton Bradley trying to steal. The Bird is a force, breaking up the play at second. Bradley would take third on the missed throw, but be stranded. I mean, there's only so much the Bird can do. He got you to third. Somebody's got to bring you in. Top third, the Bird patrolling center. Bottom 5, tie game, Ellis Burks, the subject of trade rumors. Opposite field, and whoop-a, 2-run homer. He drove in all 4 of the Indians' runs. The Bird, the Bird, the Bird is the word. I'm in top 9, Maglio Ordonez, and the Bird has taken over the highlight. I think he flinched there for just a second. Ordonez flustered, but not completely distracted. There goes Maglio again. Solo home run, that's the game winner.
The White Sox top 9 owes up 7-6. Willis Roberts facing Mark Johnson. Tony Graffinino on first. Johnson a 198 hitter, buttery smooth bunt. Roberts makes a bad throw to Luis Lopez at second. Lopez's foot comes off the bag. Graffinino's safe. Watch the replay. Very, very close call. Looks out, but it's an E1, please. 2 batters later, Buddy Groom facing Ray Durham. No, Durham lines a shot to center. Chris Singleton, see what happened. E8, please, and then he made a bobble. No. E8 again. 2 errors on 1 play for Singleton. White Sox win 8-7.
First at bat, Mark Burley on the hill. Hunter called strike 3. Johan Santana pitching. Johan, big time trouble. Maglio Ordonez, 3-run home run, his 20th of the year. 3-1 White Sox. Bottom 4, Frank Thomas with a man on. 495 feet away. Thomas went 16 straight games without a home run. He's now got homers in his last 2 games. 16 on the year, 5-1 Chicago. 5 batters later, they go deep again off of Santana. Aaron Rowland, his 2nd of the year. 8-1 Chicago. Santana giving up 3 home runs in 3 2/3. This after allowing 1 in 48 innings this season. But back comes Minnesota. Top 6, 2 on for Doug Minkiewicz. 3-run shot, his 5th of the year. Twins within 2 at 8-6. Top 9, still a 2-run game. 2nd and 3rd, David Ortiz, 1 out. Royce Clayton saves a run, gets the out, 1 run in, and the Twins are within 1. Torrey Hunter with a tying run on 3rd, and Hunter hits it into the out. So Hunter 0 for 5.
Play Charlotte in place of Ray Durham, who's now with Oakland. And Willie, first at bat, singles to right. Kenny Lofton moves up to third. First hit of the season for Mr. Harris. Bottom third, 2-0 Sox. His second at bat off Sean Sedlacek, and that one is gone. His first major league home run. I tell you what, the show is easy. 3-0 Sox. Top 9, Raul Ibanez. And Willie Harris has taken over the highlight, the backhand stab, and he throws on.
And Rowan here. 2-run home run, his third of the year. It's 4-1 in favor of Chicago. Same inning, it's Maglio Ordonez at the plate. And he's got 21 home runs now. He had 2 in the game, and it's 5-1 Chicago.
Darrell May was a little bit elevated in the zone. Saw the change up there to Mags, up out over the plate. Trying to get Darrell May to work down in the zone. Here's the pitch out over the plate, almost identical to this changeup to Maglio Ordonez. See Brent Maine raising his glove, reaching, same exact spot, same exact result.
The Twins, winners of 9 of the last 10, hosting the White Sox. Torrey Hunter out with a strain of his hip flexor. Kyle Loesch walking Willie Harris to start things off for the White Sox. Next batter, Loesch. No problem. Picking Harris off first. Look at it again. Was this a balk? Watch Loesch's left leg bend as he spins. Well, the first base arm, Gary Cederstrom, apparently missed it. First base coach Gary Pettis let Cederstrom know about it. Harris also upset about the call in the dugout. Pettis was ejected from the game. Bottom 4, runners at first and third, 2 out. Doug Menkiewicz at the plate. Looking for contact towards second, Willie Harris. Mark Burley gets out of the jam. Top 6, Loesch still in there. Maglio Ordonez. His 23rd of the year. It's 3-0 White Sox. Bottom 9, Burley trying for a complete game shutout. 2 on, nobody out. Bobby Kilty. Joe Creedy coming home. Throwing out Corey Koski. The shutout still alive for Burley. Your next batter. The challenge, Mike Kadire. Not much of one. 6-4-3 double play. Mark Burley gets his complete game 5-hit shutout. His 3rd career shutout.
Devil Rays and the White Sox. Things got kind of kooky for Tanyan Sturtz. Gets Josh Paul to ground out to end the inning. D-Rays up 5-3. So what's the problem? Sturtz finds out he's out, and he is miffed. Sturtz reacts, says something. We've got a water cooler and some towels, and we're throwing them. And now, hold on. Hal McRae. After 99 pitches, Hal McRae says, "Yay! What are you doing?"
That's awful.
It's just getting crazy in baseball these days. We're now in the top of the 12th game, tied at 5-2-1, 1 out. Jesus Colome pitching, Aaron Rowan a double. Sox go up by 1, they win by 3.
Double Rays as always. Would you like those nachos to go? Top 6, 3-1 D-Rays. Victor Zambrano facing Aaron Rowan. Rowan, the shot to right center. Oh, Randy Wayne can't make the catch. Jason Conti up throwing, and Rowan at third almost gets gunned down. He just kind of walked on in there like there was no problem.
Get out.
Sandberg tried to decoy Rowan, and then, whoa, put it down. Wallace Johnson, third base coach, said, I erred in not telling my man to slide. Next batter, Carlos Lee. Toby Hall going down to get Rowan again. He's back, but he's shaking up on the slide. Gonna get poor Sandberg, wearing him out. Yeah, oh, tight one.
Where's Blue?
He's safe. Next batter, Maglio Ordonez. They're grounded to third, and finally they're going to get Rowan. They were trying hard. They finally got him at home. Woo! It took some doing. Top 8, save score. Jesus Colome pitching to Lee. 2 on. Nobody out. That's a wild pitch. Willie Harris hesitates, and they got another guy at the plate. Oh, horrendous. 2 batters later, Esteban Yan to Paul Konerko.
Not again.
No.
Okay.
Somehow, the wild pitch gets away. Tony Graffanino scores. Konerko just kind of stood there. Then Mark Johnson. Finally, just your basic everyday run score and base hit. Joe Creedy will score. From the offense. Yeah, sure. Maybe that's it. Bottom 6, 6-2 Angels. Frank Thomas, the large hurt, the pick to click. Good height on that. Lands in the seats. Thomas's 18, 6-4. Bottom 7, Ben Weber. Theirs, not ours. Maglio Ordonez has just homered in his 3rd straight game. He's 2 for 5, 6-6. We're tied. Ordonez 26th. Top 9, Antonio Osuna on Troy Gloss. That'd be a home run if they were playing in a silo. Look at Willie Harris. Hustle over. Nice job. Bottom 9, same score. Paul Konerko facing Brendan Donnelly. That's through. Carlos Lee on first there. He's going to advance to third. Winning run now on third. So Mike Scioscia, he's going to have to strategize here. Going to come out, talk to the troops. Brings Darren Erstead from center in to play first base. He could also punt if needed. Now we're going to look at the Angels. They're playing with 5 infielders. You can see it's not nice to point, but we did anyway. 2 or 3 infielders on the right side. And after intentionally walking Thomas, doesn't matter.
They needed to put one over there.
It's Clayton. They need the short fielder like they got in softball out there with the keg.
Put a keg out there.
He didn't get much of it, but just enough. Snaps it off. We got a little kindling, but that's all right with him. He's a hero. Up 6-2 Wednesday before experiencing a Roman moment. This is bottom second. Frank Thomas.
Detrius.
Off Aaron Seeley. 2-2 game just like that. Big Hurt's 19th. Second consecutive game. He's gone deep. Top 4, we're still knotted up with 2. A couple out. Bases Chuck for David Eckstein, who's got 3 grannies so far. And here he makes the inning ending out. Miguel Ordonez on the end of that one. Bottom 5, Aaron Rowan at the plate. And watch Benji Gill doing some things at second. Benji, nice dive. He's a former driller, played some shortstop there in the Texas organization. They kept him, sent Richie Riley off to San Francisco. Now Gill, well, he's in Anaheim, and the shortstop in Texas is Alex Gonzalez. It all works out that way. Carlos Lee, I don't think anybody's going to catch that unless they have a ticket. 3-2 White Sox, Lee's 18th homer. Top 8, 3-2 Sox, Troy Gloss with 1 on, grounder. Jose Valentin, Willie Harris, barehanded, nicely done. Sweet double play. Sox.
Chicago, bottom second, Freddie Garcia against Paul Konerko. 8 for 17 now in his career against Garcia as he goes down with the wicked curve there. Of those 8, 2 were homers. Let's say of those 9, 3 were homers. A 3-run shot for Konerko in the 4th, his 24th. He's batting .550 in his last 6 games. 3-zip White Sox, bottom 5. Miguel Ordonez, 3 for 18 career against Garcia, but everybody getting fat off Freddie, who lasted 6, gave up 6 earned. His 32nd double, Ordonez, 2-score, Sox win it.
Seattle is in Chicago. Joe Creedy, not the guy singing Take Me Higher and some other hits, but McLemore can't get it. Solo homer, his first major league home run, called up this week. Congratulations. Jose Valentin to left field, and this is gone. Off James Baldwin, who 2 years ago helped lead this team to the playoffs. That's Chicago, of course. Valentin.
Tremendous play right here. Watch him lay out. And he really had nothing to lose laying out right there. He knocks it down. He's still got a force play. Great play, though.
Ruben Sierra up the middle off Folk's glove. Valentin, you playing a little defense today or what?
Ooh, showing a little leather. That might be a web, Jim.
Then Sierra with another chop. This over the head of Konerko. Olerud, who homered in the game, scores. Brett Boone held at second.
Hey, the Mariners never quit. They were down 7 runs in Toronto and came back on them all the way down to the last out every game.
But Desi Relaford pops it to second. Willie Harris gets it, and the White Sox escape.
6 walks. Denny Reyes gives up the gopher ball, the grand slam gopher ball. The Jose Valentin is 6. Sox up 7-0. That's his 16th of the year, and as he races back to that, he's saying, you know what? I got 17 in me, too. This one off Todd Van Poppel, when we measured 428 feet, way far. That's metric. Sox win it by a count of 12-3, 6 ribs for Sox. Minnesota actually a chance to clinch the division for next year. Bottom first, Joe Mays giving up the big ball to Jose Valentin. His 18th. White Sox lead 2-1. Same inning, Mays facing Paul Konerko, and Konerko hits it awfully hard, but luckily he's got a man over there playing third. Denny Hocking, 5-3. Nice work at the hot corner. Bottom of the second, Mays facing Valentin again, this time with 2 on, and I think we all like Wood. His 2nd homer of the night, 19th of the year, and the Sox out to a 6-1 lead. Top 4, 6-1 game, Mark Burley, Jock Jones, looking poor there. Pretty sure that was no home run. Bottom of the 4, Doug Mankiewicz giving full effort, because effort is the key to success. Going, oh, look out for the bikes. Down he goes. But of course, he would stay in the game because he's a hockey player. Top of the 7, Sox leading 9-1. Burley facing Jones again. This time drops the deuce on him. Another strikeout for Jock. Bottom 8, everyday Eddie Guardado just got worked by Miguel Ordonez. His 29th. The Sox win big, 10-1.
D-Rays White Sox, bottom 6 tied at 2. Joel Creedy takes Paul Wilson deep 2-run shot. Creedy's 3rd of the year. Southsiders win at 5-2.
Dip Aaron Rowan. Deep fly. Rowan's 4th of the season. That ties this game up at 4. Then in the bottom of the 4th, still tied, 2 on, Paul Konerko. Should say it tied the game at 2. Base hit here to right. Brings in Frank Thomas. Maglio Ordonez would also come around to score. They grab a 2-run lead, and they go on and win it. Final score.
Bottom of the 9th, Roy Halladay pulled out. Kelvin Escobar is on. Hits Aaron Rowan. Tying run at the plate. Next man up, Joe Creedy. No! Look at this. Give it a little Ron Santo, even though it's the White Sox. Drills it out. Tie game 4-4. Bottom of the 10th. Here comes that man again. It's Creedy.
Swing and a long one. Left field. This is a grand slam. And a White Sox winner, Joe Creedy, drives in 6 runs in the last 2 innings.
That's a good 2 innings. That's John Rooney of ESPN Radio. Day baseball, and here is Maglio Ordonez. 2 men aboard. Yes! So Steve Paris gets to 30 home runs, got 4 straight seasons of at least 30. And
Passed Ron Kittle on the all-time home run list for the White Sox in this game. And he's only got 141, 142 lifetime. You would think in 100 years of the White Sox, they'd have more big-time home run hitters.
John Garland was on the hill, and they haven't had too much of this season. Garland is very sharp in the 3rd, gets the K, the 6th, in the 9th. Yeah, he's still on in the 9th, working a shutout. And then you got to earn it. Carlos Delgado. 9 strikeouts.
Sox Tigers, not a 9-7 game. Bottom 3rd, game tied at 1. Bobby Higgins, a little spankage. George Lombard, he's being waved in, probably by Wendell Kim. Maglio Ordonez is the cutoff man, and Lombard toasted up and buttered. Not even close. Top 4, Joe Creedy. Oh, he hit that to some sort of low Earth orbit, and poor Mike Moras just giving up a home run. Creedy 6. Sox win at 4-3.
Only Steve Sparks is on the hill. What were we saying, Jeff? You know, Sparks, if he had a line, he went 8, gave up 1 run, I'd believe it. If he had a line 5 2/3, 9 runs, I believe it. And that's what he had. Joe Creedy hits that out. It's his 7th home run of the year. It's 5-0 after 1. Damian Easley looks like he might have one. Can you put this on the board? No. Now look, he circles. He's all right. The umpires go, can we talk about that?
Just foul.
Yeah, just went out there. Luis Pujols comes out and said, you know, you can't take that away. He
cooling you off.
Oh, is that what that is? Thank you. Career high.
Blowing in your ear.
17th win. Matt Wahlbeck back to the box. Burley, great reaction and worth another look. Ball hits the lip of the grass. Burley, great reaction. Throws a complete game shutout. Victory.
Making his major league debut, Borchard could have been the quarterback at Stanford. I mean, he could have stayed there, but instead he went for the Bucks and baseball. And finally, he's in the bigs. And his first hit was a major league home run. Not bad for a guy who had 139 strikeouts in AAA. Boy has the ball, swaps it for Borchard's bat. Borchard 6'5", 220, always played without fear at Stanford. Borchard not afraid to lay out on a fly ball as well. Misses it, but it's a good effort. And he was fine. Top of the 5th, 6'9", 230. That's Mark Hendrickson coming in to pitch. Hendrickson, if you recall, used to play hoops at Washington State. So we have a Pac-10 showdown. Borchard from Stanford, Hendrickson from Washington State. Hendrickson strikes Borchard out. The White Sox win.
It's up 2-1. Runner on first, Paul Konerko. That sounded like a broken bat. 6-4-3 double play. Nice diving play by Chris Woodward, who started. Top 6, 1 out. White Sox up 3-2. Konerko, no one's going to grab that one. Good wood there. Solo shot, 26 of the season. It's 4-2. And we want to show you the Shannon Stewart effort in left. And he loses a little bit of leather. Okay, he would get it back, though. Top 7, 2 outs. We're tied at 4. Jose Valentin, our pitch to click. And second home run of the game for Valentin. 21st home run of the season. It's 5-4. Sox going to win it.
Bottom of the 9th, it is 6-3. Frank Thomas, yard work. With 2 men on, he ties the game up at 6.
Woo, great effort there.
And they load him up again. And it's time for Joe Creedy to come up. Another one of those young players getting a lot of PT, and he'll make an impact next season for them.
We're talking about PT, guys that are not getting PT.
Young players with some serious pop. First, Paul Konerko. On the ground, Angel Baroa goes into the hole, stops, stands, fires, and got him. Now we get into the future. Joe Borchard,
left field off Paul Bird. Now, Ibanez would go back and not touch the ball, which means we're staring at the potential inside the park home run.
And Borch is a pretty darn good athlete, of course, a former Stanford quarterback. You know, what the thing that these young guys, Adam Rowland and Borchard and Creedy bring, Josh Paul, a lot of enthusiasm, something the White Sox didn't have.
Carlos Beltran here in a big spot, swings away and changes the scoreboard. He'll bring in 2, make it 7-6. Mike Sweeney, as you saw, was on deck. He'd later be retired. Top 9, 1-run game. Peter just talked about him. Joe Creedy, we have contact. Second home run of the night.
Well, for guys like Creedy, we've heard about him for 5 years. He came up and he's fine.
The team's running on empty. Bottom 3, down 3 zip. Mike Sweeney, good hitter. In front of the wall, give him a double. 2 runs come in. Royals down a run. 30th of the season for Mike Sweeney. Bottom 5, Royals still down a run. 2 on, Sweeney again. This is how you win batting titles. Here's a single right through the middle. Tucker scores, tied at 3. Tied at 4 in the 7th, 2 on for Paul Konerko against Jeremy Hill with 2 down. Seeing the hole. Jose Valentin touches home, Sox up a run. They're up 8-4, bases loaded. Jeff Leefer, Jeremy Affeldt, grand slam. Leefer's 5th home run of the year. White Sox put a 12 spot on the board and win it by 8.
Maglio Ordonez facing Miguel Asensio. Ordonez pops it up, and the ball's just going to bloop in fair. Jose Valentin comes in to score, 1-0 Chi Sox. Top 5, 3-1. Carlos Lee facing Asensio with no one on, and that's not coming back. Into the bullpen, Solo, his 24th, tying his career high, 4-1 White Sox. Top 7 still 4-1. Ordonez versus Asensio, and we have deja video. It's just out of the reach of Angel Baroa in the left. Valentin scores again, 5-1 Sox. RBI 118 for Maglio, 2 for 5, 2 RBI. White Sox win it 5-1.
White Sox, we have Yankees. Cartoon-like proportions, this matchup. 2 old friends, head-to-head, Yankee Stadium. Moose Messina and Rocky Biddle. So we have, then, the adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Nothing on my sleeve. Simon Bar Sinister involved in that whole hour? Was that a sub?
That was underdog.
Okay, top of 4, 1 out. Chicago down 2-1, loaded up. Messina working it well. Alfonso Soriano coming home. It's force out. Throw wide, though. Jorge Posada can't find the ball. Messina trying to get Maglio Ordonez. Oh, it's a mess. Sox up 3-2. The Moose and the Yanks running wild. None of this was cleared. We'll pay somebody later. How would Rocky fare in this matchup? You're probably asking yourself. Bottom of 5, Chicago 3-2. Soriano at the plate. What a physical. Middle dealing. Soriano lines at the left. Carlos Lee, a sliding backhanded catch. Rocky, the ball player, liking it. As no doubt would Rocky, the cartoon character, were he a major league pitcher playing for the New York Yankees. I wonder where he'd live. Biddle and the Sox running over the Yankees 13-2. We're in the 5th already. Chicago up 3-0, 2 on. Roger Clemens gives it up. Big play to Meade. Jeff Leefer crushes it. 6-0, his 6th. Bottom of 6, 7-0. Alfonso Soriano. What a physical. Que cuerpo. What a body. Breaks the American League record for home runs in the season by a second baseman with 37. Bottom 9. Yanks down 8-1. Drew Henson pinch hitting for his first major league bat. And it didn't work out so well. Punched looking. White Sox win at 8-1.
Little argument here. Royals, White Sox. Brent Maine going at Jerry Crawford over balls and strikes. And Brent Maine,
He didn't last.
he's gone. Top 4 zeros. Mike Sweeney.
Oh, lip reading there. You knew he was gone.
24th Jimmy Jack of the year, 1-0 Royals. Joe Creedy against Sean Sedlacek. And Creedy, this is a high foul ball, right field. This is a convergence of Royals. Sweeney. He did a heck of a job surrounding it.
Well, the interesting thing is you got Neffy Perez playing second base. Now, this is a bomb. Back to the play real quick. Neffy playing second is usually shortstop. Communication wasn't there. No need to communicate that one. Frank touched it off, and Mags followed it.
Airmail. Mags' 33rd home run of the season. White Sox win it.
Been a tie.
Bottom 3 tied at 1, 1 on, 1 out. Supan in trouble against Jose Valentin. Valentin looking for space. Finds it there. Michael Tucker is going to come up throwing. Tucker, he's got a gun.
Oh, wow.
Willie Harris at the plate. You need another look. Tucker airing it out all the way. And catcher Brent Maine blocks the plate. As you can see with the arrow, Harris would have been safe. Great play. 2-1 White Sox. Supan against Frank Thomas. Second homer in as many games for the Big Hurt. He's hitting .247. Worst season of his career, but he's hitting .367 in September. Oh, and a kiss for the nice catch. Damaso Marte to finish against Kit Pello. Marte behind the back snag and throw from the ground. What about Supan as you take another look? He lost his 9th straight decision. Chicago back to 500 for the first time since the 20th of June.
J's and O's pick it up, top 7, 1-0.
Game was called after 2 innings because of rain. That's a problem. Back to Friday night, Ryan. Rounds into a 1-3 putout to make him 0 for 2 on the night, and here comes the rain. Would Ryan's night be rained out? No such luck. Ryan goes down looking 0 for 4 in his official Major League debut after the 2 for 2 got washed out. Bottom 5, White Sox down 2-1. Bases bloated for D'Angelo Jimenez. The comebacker hits Juan Rincon. The ball goes away. The Sox win this one 10-2 the final.
Bottom 7 are loaded for Carlos Lee. El Caballo. Grand Slam is 26. White Sox win 14-4. Twins will open the playoffs on the road October 1st.
All right, Carl, thank you very much. Early on, Frank Thomas making a statement for the White Sox. Thomas with a man on, blasts a 2-run shot, 27th of the year. 2-0 White Sox lead right away in the first inning. It's 3-1 in the top of the third. Torrey Hunter puts this in the air. Aaron Rowan in center field. Dustin Moore going to try him out. While Rowan unloads and throws him out. No tag up there, and there'll be more from the Big Hurt. 2 for 4, 3 RBIs here in the third. He rips this in, drives in another run. Joe Mays for the Twins going 4, giving up 7 runs. Mark Burke.
Sox of the red and white variety. Derek O looking for his 22nd win. Bottom 1, bottom 2, no score. Joe Creedy, who's been off the meter. 11-game hitting streak. Jeff Leefer scores. 1-zip Chi Sox. Bottom 4, 2 on, 2 outs. Joe Creedy. Booyah! 3-run shot, 12th homer of the year. Creedy hitting .463 during his hitting streak. 4-zip Chi Sox. Top 5, you saw Creedy's bat. Check out the glove. No more. Creedy. Creedy gets it. Nice call up from the minors on July 30th. Top 6, I'm feeling you, Manny Ramirez. Gets a double down the third base line. Manny went 2 for 4, improves his batting average to .347. Bottom 7, low. Deals Jeff Leefer. Big up respect, man. 7th homer of the year for Leefer. Only the 12th home run that Lowe has given up all season. 5-2 Chi Sox. Bottom 8, 1 on Dustin Hermanson. Facing Maglio Ordonez.
This is hit pretty well to deep right center field. That is
37th homer for Mag, 7-2 White Sox. Kills any playoff hopes for the Red Sox. It's over for Manny Nomar, 91 wins, but still no playoffs. Lights out at Fenway, 7-2 final.